On November 22, 2025, Ohio government actions were shaped by ongoing responses to the federal government shutdown, legislative initiatives, and executive measures aimed at supporting residents and local communities. While there is no direct record of specific events occurring on November 22 itself, the most recent comprehensive reports and executive actions from the preceding days provide a clear picture of the state's priorities and activities during that period. Major government actions. The most significant government action during this timeframe was Governor Mike DeWine's executive order, signed in response to the federal government shutdown. The order allocated up to $25 in state funds to support food assistance programs, specifically targeting families affected by the suspension of federal benefits. This action was taken as the federal shutdown disrupted the flow of critical programs such as SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which saw partial November benefits issued by the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, ODJFS, under federal guidance. Governor DeWine's executive order was designed to bridge the gap and ensure that Ohioans continued to receive essential food support during the federal lapse. Legislative activities. On November 11, 2025, Ohio lawmakers advanced several key pieces of legislation. Republicans introduced House Bill 137, which proposed giving local taxing authorities the power to block library levy requests before they reach voters, effectively ending the requirement for public voting on such levies. This bill was part of a broader debate over local control and public funding for libraries. Bipartisan legislators also introduced House Bill 566, known as the Break the Silence Act. This bill aimed to establish new protocols in Ohio healthcare facilities for identifying and assisting patients who may be experiencing abuse or neglect. The legislation was intended to improve patient safety and ensure that vulnerable individuals receive timely intervention. Enforcement actions. The ongoing federal government shutdown had a direct impact on enforcement and administrative activities at the state level. The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services began issuing partial SNAP benefits in response to the federal shutdown, following federal guidance. This action was necessary to ensure that Ohio residents continued to receive some level of food assistance despite the federal disruption. Public events. There were no major public events reported for November 22, 2025, but the state government's actions and legislative activities were widely covered in the media and discussed in public forums. The focus was on how the federal shutdown was affecting local communities and what steps the state was taking to mitigate the impact. Key agencies and officials. Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, ODJFS. Responsible for issuing partial SNAP benefits and managing food assistance programs, Governor Mike DeWine signed the executive order allocating $25 for food assistance. Ohio House of Representatives. Advanced House Bill 137 and House Bill 566. Bipartisan legislators introduced the Break the Silence Act. Key provisions. Governor DeWine's executive order provided up to $25 for food assistance to help Ohio families affected by the federal shutdown. House Bill 137 proposed giving local taxing authorities the power to block library levy requests before they reach voters. House Bill 566, the Break the Silence Act, aimed to establish new protocols in healthcare facilities for identifying and assisting patients who may be experiencing abuse or neglect. In summary, Ohio's government actions on and around November 22, 2025, were dominated by the state's response to the federal government shutdown, with a focus on ensuring continued support for residents through executive orders and legislative initiatives. The state's efforts were aimed at maintaining essential services and protecting vulnerable populations during a period of federal uncertainty.